Hello to the people, man. About time. Oh man, you guys are gonna have to excuse me. I just finished eating back from football, but we're gonna get this show on the road. Yeah, let me just post this pinned link in the chat. So if anybody wants to join, they can. Does that work? It doesn't work. I'll post it there. But yeah, quick intros. That's what we're gonna start off with today. Obviously, we've been trying to make some noise, both for better. My name is Sadiq. As you can see, I'm an Arsenal fan. So I'll be representing the Gunners today and for the foreseeable future. So the plan is with BallForBetter is to create like a community, a football collective. And what we want to do is just kind of give back to the game, especially because it's something that we're very passionate about. Me personally, I'm more trying to look at the coaching stuff. I've got back into playing football, but away from that, on the content side, BallForBetter. I just want to kind of just give you guys my little football knowledge. Have some little debates with the people, and just kind of give back. On top of that, as I said, I'm doing my coaching badges. I started playing football again this season. So I might bring you guys some of that content, bring you guys on that journey with me. And yeah, it's exciting times.
Yeah, and on that note, I'll give myself a bit of an intro. My name is BJ, the second half of BallForBetter. And yeah, like Sadiq, I'm a football enthusiast. I'm obviously a United fan, been a United fan ever since I started watching football. Yeah, and I think just to add on to what Sadiq said, BallForBetter is an incentive where we can, talk about football and have other people give us some of their insights as well. Football is a thing that both of us hold dearly to us, and if we're not playing at a high level, I'm sure we can give something back at a high level. So
exactly,
why not give our insight back? So here's the start to hopefully a long and prosperous journey within football. Yeah, me myself, I'm not doing anything as exciting as Sadiq is in regards to his coaching. I'm also playing myself, obviously play Sunday League, and I play Astro quite a lot, play football all through my schoolboy days. Yeah, and I breed, live, and eat football. So yeah, I think this is kind of a collaboration between me and Sadiq on something that we both enjoy, which is obviously football. So yeah, I think that's a bit of an intro to both of us.
Even aspiration wise, I know you were talking about being a scout, and I feel like that's a very good combo. We can have a scout and a coach. We could help a lot of young people, especially in less privileged areas, maybe get to a high level of playing football.
I'm glad you even mentioned that. I feel like even away from not necessarily scouting, but another thing that me and Sadiq both want to do with BallForBetter is make sure that we're giving back to people that are not in positions that we're in. Especially like people in like privileged, less privileged countries that, maybe jerseys and stuff and boots that we have, we can give back. And that's kind of where the ethos of BallForBetter came from, trying to use football to make some sort of a positive impact. And yeah, I feel like, if it's not necessarily being an agent, I did my level one in talent identification. But if it's not necessarily being an agent, I do like data in football. So anything kind of football related is something I have a bit of interest in. So yeah, that's a bit of an insight into things apart from BFB football wise and obviously playing it. But yeah, I think this kind of endeavor between me and Sadiq would be interesting because obviously I support United and he supports Arsenal, but I think both of us can probably kind of meet our middle ground and try not to be biased or try our best to give it.
I'm gonna be biased as hell, boy. No, I'm joking. It's not in my nature to be biased. I try kind of call it as it is. So I'm actually gonna get just another thing, because we're gonna have a lot of new stuff, but fantasy football. We are running a fantasy football league, and the plan is to give £200 to the winner. So make sure you guys are actually, first of all, if you're watching this right now, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button.
Yeah, first of all.
And then, as I said, we're gonna be running the fantasy football. I'm gonna paste the link in the chat for any of you guys who want to join. Make sure you do. There's £200 up for grabs at the end of the season, but you do have to be subscribed and you do have to be following the socials. So make sure you don't miss out on that one.
Which is only fair.
Now, that being said, I guess we talk about the game, man. You know, we're both, I'm wearing an Arsenal jersey, you're wearing a United jersey. We played each other a couple nights ago. I think it was Saturday night in America, 10 o'clock over here. From my perspective, so I'm not gonna go too crazy, but what I saw was wild, man. It was not good enough. I
think sorry to cut across. I think there's a few things to probably dissect. I think from the match, even from you as an Arsenal fan. Well, what I was gonna say is that even before you jump right into it, what I wanted you to digest first is this selection. So obviously going into a preseason game, and this is probably me taking some conversations I had outside of BFB and bringing it in here. But for me, from some Arsenal fans, I've got one perspective I got was why was Tomiyasu starting left back, and another one was Balogun's exclusion almost. So I want that to keep that in mind.
Do you know what? Yeah, I respect you for especially bringing up Balogun's exclusion, because for me, I think I'm gonna touch on that one first. And me personally, I feel like Nketiah is a good player, and I feel like that's all he is. He's a good player. I don't think he's an Arsenal level player. I think he's living off the 7 game. He had good form for about 7 games when we played you guys at the Emirates.
Yeah, Jesus was injured for that period.
Yeah. We played Tottenham away. He kind of dominated there as well, and I feel like he's living off the merits of that little patch, because I feel like apart from that, he's not really played at a high level. He's played decent, but even when he's scoring goals, for me, he's not somebody who is he doesn't light up the world or whatever we want to say. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I would like to see Balogun given a chance, and I feel like him being excluded, not even coming on at all, shows that he's probably not in the manager's plans, and he's probably going to be gone come the end of the transfer window. And then Tomiyasu starting left back, I feel like I don't know why we've done that, because we have a number of left backs. You have Kivyo, you have Tierney, you have Zinchenko. But what I will say is that we played Tomiyasu against Liverpool. I think it was at the Emirates. Yeah, we played Tomiyasu against Liverpool at the Emirates, and it worked out for us. He kept Salah a bit quiet, so I don't know that if that's the manager's thinking, but it's Anthony.
Even on that as well, what I was going to say is I'm glad you said that about even Tomiyasu, the fact that maybe he's played left back before. But I think even that, just to take away from that, is Tierney is an out-and-out left back. So how would the left back in that situation be thinking if a player that's predominantly a right back or a centre back is being played out of position to accommodate him for what reason? So I think Arteta is probably getting himself, well, I think that's a bit early to say, but there's going to probably be a bit of clash with some players in regards to their positions, because even we've seen Ben White hasn't started right back, Timber started right back in the friendly, so it'll be interesting to see how Arteta kind of juggles everybody's kind of playing minutes and the starters as well.
It's true, because I actually saw a tweet where somebody was excited on Twitter saying, "Oh, we have 3 players for every position," and I saw a comment like, "Bro, quality over quantity." And I feel like we have to be very careful with the road we're going down, having a huge squad, because what that causes, some players will be unhappy when they're not getting game time.
Exactly, it's hard to manage.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're younger, I wouldn't say inexperienced, because he is getting more experience, but when you're a younger manager and you're not as ruthless as those big ego managers like the likes of a Pep, of Guardiola. This guy's trolling with the 2-0.
Bro, who's that 2-0? Come on, man. 2-0. That's in United.
Yeah, but when you're not one of them managers that have a big ego, it's going to be hard for you to leave some of these players out and keep them still, focused.
And that's what I said. It's funny because I know probably a big part of I probably shied away from it on purpose, but a big part of probably this episode on what happened on that match is Havertz, and I think I see a bit of that in Arteta where it's like Havertz. I know people have their opinions on Havertz, but is he an LCM? Is Arteta trying to save Havertz? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Havertz has quality, but even from what I've seen on Saturday evening as an LCM, doesn't have that grit of a midfielder for me personally. I don't know what you thought of the game or Havertz's participation of the game.
No, I'm not even gonna pretend. For me, what I saw was not anything. Bro, there's a handful of players that I can say came out of that game and can say yes, I put in a shift. I think Timber did well. I think the two wingers, Martinelli and Saka, didn't do too bad. I think they were good in the first half. Maybe Partey when he came on second half was decent, but there wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah,
Ramsdale was shaky. Declan Rice. You can see that. For me, the reason why I'm not going to get too excited with the likes of Havertz and Declan Rice is because these guys, they've had a handful of training sessions with this team. They haven't fully understood their role and the way they're going to play in this team. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's going to take time. I was speaking to Sesno. Sesno mentioned that Grealish, when Grealish went to Man City, he didn't set the world alight straight away. It took him a year. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the problem.
I heard that.
When there's huge money on these players, even Sancho, he hasn't quite performed yet. When there's huge money on these players, it's harder for them to perform. So we'll see, innit?
Of course. I just personally, I feel I don't know how Arsenal fans feel on this. I don't know how you feel on it. But when we look at Arsenal's team, you talk about Partey. We don't know if he's going to stay or not. We talk about Odegaard, who was there last season. And then we talk about a key midfielder that started a lot of games in a particular position, LCM, Xhaka. So Xhaka is left. I think the replacement for Xhaka in Arteta's head is Havertz, LCM, a left-foot centre midfielder. But me personally, it won't be it. On what Mike is saying as a United fan, Sancho out. I do hear that, but I feel like Sancho did play a good game on Saturday as well as a false line. Let's kind of.
I wouldn't say very good, but he played a very decent game.
For a game that he hasn't played,
he's gonna do a world of good for his confidence, man.
Of course, a good goal. I know, obviously, probably Gabriel could have done better, but I think Anthony out is probably a better suggestion than Sancho out right now. I think we have bigger fish to fry. Anthony, I don't know how he is starting right wing for my team. Even Saturday, even the season, he's too one-footed, he's too one-dimensional, and I think he might be an area that we're going to have to address very soon. But there's one person I want to give out a shout-out to in particular. I think in my eyes, he's the next big thing for United, and it's Kobe Mainoo. I don't know if you watched this game. Ooh. This brother is 18. This brother is 18. He's a talent.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Yeah, we posted about him last year.
Yeah, we did.
When we did a little players to watch, he was part of them players. So
what's interesting to me is what we said about previously is Ten Hag has been quite ruthless. He's got rid of De Gea. We made a video on that. He's got rid of De Gea. He's got rid of Ronaldo. He's dropped the captaincy from Harry Maguire. And to show faith in a young boy like Mainoo, I'm not saying he wants to loan him out and keep him within the man. It's quite good and it's quite an encouraging thing to see. So hopefully he can continue. But just off that, I think there's a few players that had a decent game for United on Saturday. Mounts, I think, with the people kind of building up that match to be a Mount and Havertz Stinkfest, I think Mount kind of held his own. Who else kind of played good? I can't really think off the top of my head. Bruno had a good game, obviously scored. But yeah, to me.
No, you guys worked us, man. I'm gonna be real. I watched it. I struggled to watch the game as an Arsenal fan. It was a tough watch. I can't tell you what exactly it was. Maybe I don't know if we were too arrogant. We thought we were gonna, come in and it was easy. Even the lineup looked like a good lineup on paper. But as I said, me personally, I'm not playing any big team with Havertz and Rice as 2 8s. For me. It's not conducive. It will leave us too open, and especially against counter-attacking teams like United. It will leave us vulnerable on the break.
we look scary on the counter. We look very scary, and especially another thing to think about is that we haven't even added Onana into the mix yet. He's going to take us up another pedestal. So I feel like if we're going to go on to predictions soon, I feel like as a United fan, we're in a very good place. I feel like if we get a good striker, in the likes of Kane, if we could get now Bagsman 30 goals a season, we have no reason not to be contending next year.
That's true. Now, I guess on that point, maybe we talk about our last season and what we thought, what our takes from last season from different clubs. We'll go around anyways. I'm gonna start with obviously at the top, Man City pit Arsenal at the end to grab the trophy. For me, PTSD once again as an Arsenal fan. I'm used to this. I'm used to the life of pain. 20 years. 20 years. He's an Arsenal fan. You can't take him serious, man.
He's an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fan saying
He's an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal fan.
But yeah, it was painful. But I feel like the way it's paining me is the same way it's paining these football players, and I'm hoping that it's character building, and they're looking forward, and they're like, I don't want to fall short because.
Sorry for coming across you. I was just going to say, just to add on to this, is probably a bit of a topic that we can have going on with Arsenal or in this kind of context. But I was saying it to Cesno yesterday. Arsenal are in a very strange predicament next year because they've gone to a stage where in the Premier League, the only place you can go above second is to win the Premier League. So the margin to win is minimal.
Yeah.
But the what it takes to win it is still. Just exactly. But the pressure is like double now because last year the expectations from last year are only going to increase, and then Champions League on top of that is going to be quite interesting. So, yeah.
This is why as I said, it is good to have a bigger squad, but some of these players are not going to get game time. The likes of Fabio Vieira, it's going to be tough for him to get game time. The likes of Smith Rowe, it's going to be tough for him to get game.
I feel like Smith Rowe has more of a shout than Vieira.
No, for sure. But I look at it and I look at there's Partey in that midfield, there's Rice in that midfield, there's now Havertz, there's Odegaard. He's probably, Partey's probably going to occupy that 6. So with Declan Rice if Partey's not there. But in terms of that LCM, he's probably third. I think Havertz or Rice will probably get ahead of him in terms of selection. But as you said, for me, looking back at Arsenal's season last season, we sold ourselves short in Europe.
I like this comment. It was only a friendly. I'm going to highlight that. Arsenal fans, it was only a friendly. United win. It's only a friendly.
But it was only a friendly though.
If you guys won, it
was only a bro. I'm hearing United fans were calling Arsenal guys saying, "Did you like that?" That's crazy, bro. Over pre-season,
I would have woke up to a bunch of Arsenal fans outside of my apartment if you guys won, talking about it was only a friendly.
Bro,
can you put that comment back, please? Let my comment have a few minutes in showtime. But anyway, continue what you're saying about sorry, what were you saying before I interrupted you?
This guy's pissing me off already. Alright, Cookie Rice and Stuart midfield, these men are on.
Does anybody want to hop on as well while we're going on? Actually, it's quite. We want it to be open. If anybody wants to jump in, put their name in, and I'm sure we can add
you. Yeah. But as I said, with Arsenal last season and the way we went, I feel like we sold Europe a bit short. Obviously, now when the Champions League, we have a bigger squad, so I'm expecting us to compete on all fronts. I look at as you said, we're kind of victims of our own, not really success but progress. We finished second, and me as a fan now, I didn't have any expectations of Arsenal last season, but this season I sure do, and I'm going to say them now. I expect Arsenal to challenge the way we did last season, and also add at least one trophy.
Yeah, it's funny because, as you said, you become a victim to your success. Because now, look what's happened. You start winning games. You start winning, big games. You start finishing higher than you were finishing previously. What happens? Your board back you. Your board give you money. You spend more money. With more money, what happens? More expectations. No matter where you go. So it's quite interesting. I think Arsenal I really like Arteta. I really like his squad. I really like his ethos. I really like the way he makes his squad play football. But I think there might be some limitations in regards to the competitions you guys are in next year. Champions League, big competitions, high competitions, high stake as well, and they're kind of the victim of your own success. So I don't know if you want to move on to another team, we want to cap off another team quickly in the top four.
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess we'll talk about Man City since they were the champions, and then we'll move on to Man United. I feel like Man City, bro, that team last season was a pull in terms of football. I said I wanted us to have a little conversation. We'll probably do it sometime soon about our top 5 Premier League teams of all time in terms of, you know, season and like a top 5 Premier League season and what they accomplished that season. But I think this is now the best Premier League team of all time, that team last season. I have them just ahead of 07, 08 United. I think that's when Newman did the treble, right?
Yeah.
You did Prem, FA. No, you didn't do treble in you did double.
That's right, we did the double, yeah.
You did Prem and Champions League in 08. Oh, that's a good question. But yeah, so I feel like that team last season is the best Premier League team of all time, in my opinion. But they've now sold a lot of their top players.
I think that's
a lot of the key figures in that dressing room. I'm looking at Gundogan, Mahrez, and Kyle Walker. I'm gonna share a link. I'm gonna share a link.
Can we leave this comment here for 1 second? Just so
hold up. These people are trying to jump this on. Link should help you get in. Hold up. You go ahead and answer that question while I try.
So on that, I think what Sadiq was even saying about the players, the outgoings from City recently. I think that's what probably going to be the main problem City are going to have, replicating the quality that some of the players that they're losing have. Because Gundogan, how do you go to the market and replace Gundogan? You know, he's like a world beater in regards to midfielders. I don't know how you replace somebody of that quality. Kyle Walker, probably arguably one of the best right backs in Premier League history. How do you go out and replace Kyle Walker? Riyad Mahrez,
bro, that guy with his recovery pace.
Yeah, Riyad Mahrez probably could go down as arguably one of the best Africans to ever play in the Prem. So with all that being said, I think it's probably a combination of 2 things. You probably need your team to be on job, and you probably need City to slip up. And I think one of the things is that's probably credit to Pep. But another thing is probably due to the amount of money the team has. I think everybody can kind of say like Pep almost has an infinite chest or an army chest for money, so you kind of need them to slip up almost.
I feel
definitely.
I agree. No, they definitely do need to slip up. But how I look at it as well is that, okay, I think I've got it now.
This is good as well. City will definitely have to readapt after losing a few key players.
You guys can see that link, yeah? That is the link. If you guys want to join, you guys should be able to see that. Is there a way I can pin this? You should just have to click that link, and then you can put in your name, and you can join them. But what was I saying? With City, I feel like them selling them players is gonna cause. I still feel like they have enough quality to get by it, but it will depend hugely on how they move in the next couple of weeks.
I'll start that again in a second. City will definitely have to readapt after losing a few key players.
Bro, for sure.
Definitely, and maybe I would like to kind of see some suggestions, because obviously City have bought Gundogan. City have lost Gundogan and then replaced him so far with Kovacic and probably Silva playing CM. But if you were a City fan, who would you like to go in for in the market? That'd be interesting to see, because Mahrez as well leaves a big gap, and I've seen a lot of people say Elise, which to me, you're literally buying a Mahrez regen almost.
That's true. He's cold. When Arsenal were rumored for Elise for a couple of weeks, and I would love to have him.
Yeah.
That being said, as I said, I feel like City will do well this season, but it depends on how they're able to plug in the gaps that they've left by, losing those key players. I don't think they have anything too crazy to fill, because they have a lot of, what we need to understand is they have depth. They have a lot of young players, Cole Palmer, a lot of young Rico Lewis that are breaking through. So let's not forget that as well. And Pep is the best coach in the world. As much as I don't like to admit it, he is the best coach in the world.
Best coach? I'd say best manager.
Best manager, coach, whatever. Bro, this guy is playing three at the back, fam. It's like he's complete football, bro. Like it's
that's true. He has the players to do it. If you have the likes of Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Ake, Kanji, those things kind of come second nature to you. But anyways, going on to the next team. Obviously, even just to cap off, how are we going to cap off City? Where I was saying Haaland. I don't think anybody needs to speak too highly on or speak too much on Haaland. The Premier League debut, Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League. Top goal scorer in Champions League, top goal scorer in the Premier League, and I'm pretty sure. I don't know if anybody wants to double check that, but I'm probably certain he was top goal scorer in the FA Cup. I think it was 56 goals in total. If he doesn't get the Ballon d'Or, I'm going to be outside UEFA's front door. I don't know. I feel like they could still.
Well, I won't lie. As much as I like to respect the Ballon d'Or, we have to remember the Ballon d'Or is an award that's presented by a French magazine. It's not by any footballing governing body. So, in terms of the importance, I feel like we shouldn't place too much importance on the actual award.
Individually, though, it's probably the highest accolade you can get.
No, it is the highest accolade. But at the end of the day, as I said, it is a media. It is a media award.
They tend to get it right, though. Yeah, I hear you.
Whereas if you look at the likes of football, I mean, what used to be called PFA or FIFA Player of the Year, that is voted on by coaches. I'm not sure if players vote, but I know coaches definitely vote.
Oh yeah. I think the PFA writers is like actual writers, and then the Premier League one is. Obviously, there's a few kind of individuals.
There's FWA. There's FWA's writers. That's the Writers Association, Football's Writers Association, and there's PFA, which is the players. So the writers, the media have one, and the PFA, the players pick their own winner. But I guess we'll go on to United.
So just kind of to be a United fan in the predicament we're in now, where we went from having Ole and Ragnick to a competent manager like Ten Hag, it's a 360. It's crazy. And to be honest, I think another thing that Ten Hag has done superbly well is his transition has been very quick. I don't think I would have expected him to have the impact he's had in United as quickly as he had. We said it early on. He had very, very big decisions to make very early on in his career. Dropping Ronaldo, a club legend, stripping Maguire of captaincy, and then obviously, letting De Gea go. I think there's been a few things I think that we could probably raise eyebrows about as a United fan. Me personally, I think Anthony is definitely going to make me raise my eyebrows no matter what. Spending close to 100 million on almost a fidget spinner. Hopefully, he can come good. But I don't know. I just don't see him as an attacker of United's caliber. I think that and maybe getting Weghorst are kind of like the only things or asterisks I have beside his name. But for now, I don't know. He's doing perfectly fine for me. He's brought in Onana now, and then our first phase of attack is going to be a lot better. So United last year, I think defensively at home was a big change as well. We conceded very little at home, kept a lot of clean sheets. I don't know. I'm pretty sure from like an outside looking in as well, you'd probably be saying the same thing about United and where we're going in a direction. So, I'm smiling from ear to ear whenever I hear this ball guy talk. He's changed my life. He's rocked my world, Eric Ten Hag. So I'm quite happy, mate.
Okay.
Add anything to that now?
No, bro. I have nothing to say, man. I have nothing to say. It's good to see you guys. It's good to
Diallo as well.
It's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys getting a bit happy, getting a bit excited. But as I said, in my opinion, I feel like you guys still have there's a couple positions in the first team that actually need to be filled. Let me bring Cesno up here. What are you saying, Cesno, man?
Hold up.
Okay. We'll give you some time.
He got scared. Hold up.
What was I going to say? Just give us a thumbs up when you're ready. What was I going to say?
Diallo. It's a shame that you got injured. It's a shame.
Yeah. But I feel like you have a couple. You're a couple players away from being where you really want to be.
Well, a striker.
I look at that number 9 position. I feel like that's one position that you probably need. You need a big player there. And then even on the wings, I feel like you need one more. I know I feel like that right side is not completely.
If I'm being real with you, yeah, like I think his thinking behind Anthony made a lot of sense. You know, get a left-footed winger that is going to stay wide but can come in and attack. But we've seen it with Sancho. A lot of United fans will probably jump on my back and piggyback off this, but we've seen it with Sancho. If you are playing the Premier League and you don't have that burst of acceleration to go past your man, if you go square to him, it's going to be so much harder to beat your man. And I feel like there's been a lot of chances Anthony had last year that, you know, we were breaking through and then he'd slow down the play and then come back. So I feel like it's almost kind of like, you know, almost the situation where you see with Pepe, where you see like someone go for a lot of money, it doesn't work out, but you need to cut your losses as quickly as possible and bring another person in. That right wing position is still up for grabs for United, if you ask me.
Those are the only two positions, in my opinion, that I feel like.
Welcome, first guest.
Those are the only two positions that I feel like you guys need work on. But as BJ said, man, welcome to Sesno, man. First person to hop on. Man, thank you for hopping on, my bro.
I appreciate you guys. First of all, man, shout out to you guys, man. This is fantastic, man. I'm actually so happy for you guys and gas for you guys for like starting this YouTube thing, starting the streaming, letting everybody see your faces and your voices.
We have to represent as well.
This is gonna blow up very soon. Trust me. You guys are inspiring the rest of us. Trust me. But I appreciate you guys having us here, man.
Mine, my bro.
What's your take on Arsenal? Yeah, what's your take on first of all, because I know you're an Arsenal fan, for the people who don't know, what's your take on first of all, while we're talking on Man United, what's your take on their team, their squad going into next season? I'll ask you that first.
Yeah. From Man United, straight away, what scares me is the manager, man. Like, that's what really scares me about every team is who's their coach. I feel like a lot of the time we're so worried about players and the big signings, but like, it's the manager that puts everything together. You feel what I'm saying? So Ten Hag in his first season, for me, has had, like, if I'm being honest, taking my bias aside, he's had like a 8.5 season, bro. Champions League. That team last season with that Ronaldo chaos, Maguire. To make top four. Weghorst is a striker. He didn't have everything he wanted.
This guy kept sending me tweets about Weghorst.
You know I'm a pro. Like, Weghorst was a bottom barrel striker.
Yeah, and he made it work. Yeah,
he made it work. So I have to give him the respect. So Man United this season, they haven't made all their signings very early like the rest of the team. So I want to see how their team looks like when it gets pieced together. They played well against Arsenal. They did what United do, the counter-attacking football. We fell for it. Like, they do it to the big dons. Like, they lose by that tactic, but they also win by that tactic.
Yeah.
Like, look,
exactly.
They do every season. So I haven't seen the new Man United or when Onana comes in and the rest of them. I'd like to see those pieces. Who is it? Højlund.
We're linked with him.
I know. I'm sorry to say. I know people are calling him Haaland regen. I've seen something like he only has 19 league goals or something, bro.
I think he scored 26 goals in all competitions for Atalanta last year after traveling. That was his first year in the league, and he's 19. So those are decent numbers. What I was going to ask you, Sesno, is as an Arsenal fan, I asked Sadiq earlier on, what I like about you and why I'm glad you're here is you have good football IQ, for good football knowledge. What you said about United is good. You know, the scariest thing about a good team is the manager. You don't go and get scared of 11 players. You get scared of 11 players under a manager's guidance. Mm-hmm. What I wanted to ask you is with Arteta, I know he's a big manager that, you know, has brains and he knows how to make teams tick. With what you've seen with his squad selection with Tomiyasu left back and with Nketiah starting ahead of Balogun, what do you think his head is at? And especially with LCM Havertz as well, can you kind of touch on kind of the additions and the rotations he's done on that game?
Yeah. And shout out to Pam one time, man. One NS guy from
one of the day ones there.
One of the day ones. So shout out to you one time. No, that's a great point, man. Arteta, Sadiq, man, we've spoken about this a lot, man. Arteta, the tactics, why he's got certain players. Let's not lie, Arsenal, performance-wise, they were like the second best team in the league. Like Man United, close third. Newcastle had a good Premier League run, but I'd still say Man United was the third best team in the league. Arteta, what he managed to do with that squad last year, we've seen it like increase year on year. He's always added something different to give them another level. Last year, what he added in Zinchenko and Jesus gave Arsenal that title push level. This year, let's not lie, Champions League, that squad last year isn't competing on all fronts. They didn't last year, so why would we think they would this year?
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
because I remember.
Thank you. Oh my God,
I remember.
Pam John, just go on, say it. I'll jump in after.
I remember moaning a lot last season. It's like, oh, these players are not good enough. They should be performing in Europa League. And what you've just said is so true, because they're not good enough, which is why they didn't perform, which is why more reinforcements have come in this season.
Exactly.
We're taking a step up, because I look at the likes of Sambi Lukonga, I look at the likes of Fabio Vieira, I look at the likes of that's it really. Those are Holding in some cases. These players came in, they're decent squad players, but if you want to be special and achieve special things, they're not the guys you need. If we're being honest,
you need somebody on the bench that's gonna make them feel the heat under the bum. You know, Timber and Ben White is probably the perfect kind of problem you want as a manager. Either the two are gonna put in like 7.5. Whoever is in better form is gonna start, and that's what happens. Better competition, you go from that. But what I was gonna say is, on what Pam John said, I think is perfect. I think if we're gonna call a spade, and let's be critical. Let's look at City. Let's look at the teams that win Premier League titles. You have a striker that's scoring 20 plus goals in the Premier League season.
I'll hold you up there for a second.
You can hold me.
You have a point, but you also don't have a point, because City won the league with a false 9. I think Foden was in that position.
Sterling scored about
Liverpool won the league with Bobby Firmino. He doesn't get you 20 goals. Nowhere near. It's the wide player. It's the wide players that do. So when it comes to winning the league, it's about developing an attack that is able to get goals fluidly. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
If that means the striker is scoring 30 goals, okay, the striker is scoring 30 goals. If that means the 30 goals is shared across 2 or 3 players, then that's what happens. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say with football right now that you necessarily need a 30-goal striker.
It doesn't necessarily need to be the striker, but I think somebody needs to be scoring 20 plus goals. Salah's gonna. Rashford this season, Rashford has done it for us. Obviously, we haven't won the Prem. But if you look at the gap between Rashford and the rest of our goal scorers, where it's spread out, Rashford is way ahead of the league. And I think as well, if I'm being real, if you look at Gabriel Martinelli and you look at Saka and you look at their output last season, they're probably doing what you need them to do as wingers. You know, if the striker isn't chipping in with 20 as a winger, you're scoring 20 plus goals and assists. What else are you going to kind of do? I think Arsenal are going to struggle if they go in the season with Jesus as the out and out striker. I think it's hard for them to win the Champions League or win the Prem. The quality that they need to add, I don't think it's necessarily from anywhere but kind of Jesus and the keeper. If you're asking me,
I agree.
I add one thing actually, just to ask you, Sadiq, about like that striker problem is the use of Balogun. I know you guys touched on it very early, like in the show, in the episode, but I just don't understand how, like, you have a young player, you send them out to your France's, your Spain's, your wherever. Like I feel like you're sending them out like for a project, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have expectations for them, and then you give them a reign at the end of their loan. Balogun goes out, he gets 25 near goals a season, and he's not getting a chance at being Arsenal's second striker or pushing you soon.
I'll say something, yeah. And this for me, this shows the ruthlessness or the demands that Arteta is looking at. And what I'll use as an example, Saliba. Saliba went on loan. He was playing at a high level, came back. Sorry, mate, you're gone again. I think Arteta's looking at this Balogun guy, and there's certain things that he's not seeing from him that he wants. Mm-hmm. And also him coming and saying, I need to play first team is an issue.
Yeah, that's why.
At the end of the day, we know this Arteta guy, he wants to, you said it to me, says no. I tried to argue, you said the managers have to be the ego. Arteta wants to be that guy. He's not trying to hear next man saying, I need to play. He's not trying to hear that, bro. If you want to play, you can go play somewhere else, my bro.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's the angle because, bro, this guy's not even getting minutes in a friendly, bro.
Yeah, that's wild to me, bro. That's no minutes in a friendly. Like,
bro,
against
bro.
Like, no, that's crazy.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. So for me, I think it's adapting. I think he's looking at man and he's like, yeah, you've got talent, but I'm looking at the way you're moving, you know, do you have the mentality to really crack what I want? I don't know.
I think you can definitely say it's a bit of maybe, okay, you probably haven't been tested out in the high waters, but I think another thing that we topped on yesterday, Arteta gave this brother Thierry Henry's jersey. He gave him 100k a week.
Yeah,
if Balogun takes his pecking order in the club, that's a kind of a bad move on Arteta. Why have you given this guy 100k? Balogun needs to play socks off to take that berth away from Nketiah. Or Nketiah needs to stink up enough to say, you know, Balogun's actually the next striker. Okay. But when I look at Arsenal's team, I'm very envious in particular positions. But then in other positions, I'm like, I couldn't really give a toss. Ramsdale, we seen it yesterday. You know, top keepers, they don't have that bozo gene in them. They have to be awake, they have to be consistent. Jesus, we talked to him yesterday. He's a centre defensive striker. He wants to be taking off the ball where the centre backs are taking it, mate.
Yeah, but so I would like that centre defensive striker. What's it called? Did that same thing.
Firmino, I hear it.
You know what I'm saying? So it works. It depends on how you, as a manager, you're able to put your players in the best position to succeed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, shout out to my boy Fred, man. Let's move on to Newcastle. We'll talk about Newcastle, Liverpool, and Chelsea, and a bit of Spurs. Then we'll do predictions for this season.
I'm gonna hop up for a little bit. I'll let you guys continue.
Nice one, says okay.
You guys let me come on, man. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us as well, bro.
I'm still gonna be in the comments, so you guys already know the banter is gonna be there. The banter is
Make
gonna
sure
be
you're watching. Make sure we're watching. We might ask you a question quickly.
Of course. Take care, boys. Hi, boys. Safe.
I need to learn how to do polls in this.
That'd be safe.
And to be honest, as time goes on, guys will understand how we use this.
Yeah, because this is our first stream.
Yeah,
and you guys actually, to be honest, now that Cesno said it, I actually wanted to say, I'm pretty sure Sadiq will say his own bit, but yeah, this is not possible without you guys. And I don't even know if you guys think that you just watching is anything, but it means so much to me personally. I'm sure it means a lot to Sadiq. As we said, we want it to be a community. We want you guys to chip in. We want you guys to get your ugly faces here as well. So yeah, have it as a family. And yeah, everybody chime in, and we really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, don't be afraid if you don't have a trim as well. There's going to be times I'm coming here looking dusty as hell, but we move. But Newcastle, man, BFB tax pending. Newcastle, man, I look at Newcastle. They're doing some good business, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about them. I don't know if that season, last season, if it's sustainable, if the players they have can continue or even elevate their game. I don't. If you ask me, you know, this is going to bridge into our next sector. We'll talk about it in more depth when we get there. But I don't think Newcastle break into the top 4 next season. I think they did well to get into that position. I think with the league and Champions League and other competitions, it's going to be very tough for them.
Definitely. I think next season is probably a different discussion from last season. I think there's obviously a clear divide between the seasons. But separately, what I'm even more so saying is that I think what they did last season and what they're going to do next season needs to be separated, because no one expected them to get 4th last season. And I think I was saying it to Cesno, and a lot of my kind of football discussions has been with him and Bo, but I said it to Cesno early on when we went to football, or I think maybe it was a few days ago. I think what the big teams are doing perfectly now, maybe not so City, they just batter everybody. But I think what United and Arsenal did very well yesterday, apart from our blips at home, we battered teams at home. We made our home pitch a fortress. Yeah. If you're coming here, you need to play out your socks. Yeah. All the fans are gearing up. Ten Hag, Arteta. It's a big occasion.
It's a big environment.
It's hard to go there and play. You need things to go your way. St. James's Park, when teams went to St. James's Park last year, they were not ready. Spurs was a big game that I remember last season. They absolutely battered Spurs. They gave us a hiding. They gave City 3-3. You make your home pitch a place that's hard to play. and then you worry about your away games. And I think that's one thing City and Newcastle have. They have a big fan base. 50k Jodies on the pistol, drinking, shouting Eddie Howe's name. And Eddie Howe, I think, probably the best English manager in the Premier over the last how long? How many English managers are getting in the top 4? So their additions is going to be important. Tonali's a very tidy player. But yeah,
we were talking about Tonali, and I feel like a lot of people have misconceptions about Tonali. A lot of people think he's your Hollywood passer. He's maybe your deep line playmaker, but really he's not. He's more of your box to box kind of. He breaks up play really. He's more of he's kind of like a less fancy Kante, in my opinion. He's not as dynamic as Kante, but that's the job he does. He's a box to box kind of destroyer.
This is probably the things that is probably going to be tough for me doing on live streams, because what you say on the live stream is going to stick with you for time. And
I don't care, man. Clip me. I'm ready to be clipped.
Let's go. I think if you ask me, I understand the hype around Tonali, and even myself, I rate Tonali. But do I think he's a 70 million player, a 70 million pound midfielder that Newcastle need? Is he what's going to take them to the next level? I'm not too sure. As you said, he's more of a box to box, and I don't think he's a box to box because that's his game. When he goes up, I think his attacking influence is not that strenuous, and defensively, he's not known as like a massive destroyer. I think it's kind of a bit of destroying and box to box. But I think he has 20 goals and assists and 120 appearances for AC Milan. He didn't want to move to Newcastle. You can see he looks upset every time he's in the picture. It'll be interesting to kind of see what happens with the Tonali move. But they got my nigga Harry Barnes. I like him. He's a traditional English winger. Spec up.
Okay. We'll move on to Liverpool, I guess. I won't lie. Liverpool last season, obviously, he's a FIFA player. Yeah, he's talking about Tonali. Tonali in that guy, he's a FIFA player. Everybody knows.
I have in my foot champs. I understand exactly. But do I watch in my AC Milan? Does anybody at Newcastle watch in my AC Milan week in, week out? It'll be interesting to see what happens with Tonali.
But there's probably only one person I know who watches Italian league. That's Tussin. I don't know. I don't watch Italian league unless they're playing Champions League or it's a big game and I have the time. I ain't really watching that. But that being said, on to Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool had a funny season last season. First of all, I had this argument with Cesno yesterday. I'm gonna bring it to you. We're talking about Van Dijk, and we're talking about top 10 Premier League players of all time. And I had Van Dijk, I think something like 7th.
Players?
No, not all time. Sorry, in the past 10 years. Yeah.
Players or centre backs?
No, players. Top 10 players in the Premier League of the past 10 years. I had Salah at 1. I had De Bruyne at 2. I had Salah 1, De Bruyne 2. Who did I have at 3? Did I have Hazard? Did I have Hazard or did I have Aguero? I feel like I could have had Aguero at 3, Hazard at 4. Then I would have had Kante. Then I think I had Van Dijk. I can't remember. But my whole point is that I feel like Van Dijk, he's dropped off from the level he was at those 2 years when Liverpool won the league.
Bro, the thing is, key word there is 2 years. You had 2 spectacular years, probably the highest peaks of a lot of defenders over the last 20 years.
What you just said was my argument. I said this guy only had 2 elite years. He had 1 very good year, and the rest has been meaty. That's what I said.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is now, especially now, I think he had an injury. Obviously, he had an injury quite recently, and I think he's lost his he's lost the pace. But you see it on Twitter, football Twitter, all the time. He does shadow defending. He blocks people with his aura. He just stands there with his face like
bro.
that, and he hopes people fall down.
He's meaty, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like those 2 seasons, he was top level. But after that injury in that COVID season, bro, like he had a good season. I feel like he had a good season when they, 2 seasons ago they compete for all trophies. They won the FA Cup, won the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
They won Champions League final and finished 2nd. Like that was a good season. He played decent, but I don't think he was at the level he was for the 2 seasons I mentioned.
Yeah, he's been like, as I said, I think if you look at Van Dijk, he's probably had the highest peak of a lot of defenders. But I probably wouldn't even put him in my top 10 players of the last 10 years. I think Suarez. I think you missed Suarez out of that. Luis Suarez.
No, Suarez.
You didn't say Suarez. Luis Suarez has to be in that. Even Alexis Sanchez had a very...
No, Sanchez is not top 10. David Silva's over Sanchez. Aguero's over Sanchez. Kante's over Sanchez. Mane's over Sanchez. Salah's over Sanchez. There's a lot of players over Sanchez.
Yeah. Harry Kane is even...
You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe on Thursday we'll do the top 5 Premier League teams and the top 10 top 5 Premier Leagues all time, Premier League seasons all time, and the top 10 top 10 players of the last 10 years.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is, I'm sure everybody here is already subscribed, but if you haven't, guys, can you please subscribe to the YouTube? It means so much.
Smash the like button as well.
And smash the like button as well. Obviously, means you guys see our videos when you're on YouTube or whatever, when it's live, and obviously your likes will help us kind of build a platform for ourselves and build a foundation. So, he's a 3-time FIFA World 11 top 3 Ballon d'Or, 3 Champions League finals. He won everything. All of that was probably within those 2 years.
2 years, yeah. No, he's in the top 10. For me, he's in the top 10. He's just not top 5. He's like 6 or 7 for me. BJ don't have him in his top 10. But listen, Van Dijk is good, but I feel like we were way too excited. We gave that Liverpool team too much credit for just competing. Even Arsenal competed. We don't.
Nah. These brothers got like 98 points, bro.
That's not my problem, bro.
They got 98. I know it's not your problem, but they got two Champions League finals back to back. Okay, maybe I am discrediting Van Dijk a bit. But I don't know. Well, where did we even jump off? We were talking about.
We're talking about Liverpool season.
I think.
Sorry, the reason why I was talking about him is because I feel like Liverpool's downfall has a lot to do with Van Dijk, because the way Liverpool like to play very high up. Very high up. And they play crazy defending where it's last ditch. And Van Dijk was very good at that.
I think if you look at Liverpool's demise, because not only Van Dijk that's kind of digressed over the last few years, I think a lot of Liverpool fans probably will tell you, I think it's the midfield that's caused the defensive collapse. Because when you have 3 box-to-box midfielders in the sense that Liverpool had, and obviously Gino Wijnaldum was one, I'm pretty sure it would have been Jordan Henderson, and who would have been, was it Fabinho? Whatever midfield they had, and where it was 3 combative midfielders, no one was like shiny. Everybody was box to box. We're going to try and get the ball up high. If it's there, we're going to go there. If it's there, it's going to go there. You have a sense of urgency to win the ball back within your midfield before it goes to the defense.
Liverpool's a lot more intense.
Exactly, because that was it. It was winning the ball high, scoring high. But now, when you don't have Wijnaldum, when you don't have wingers that bomb up, midfielders that bomb up and down.
Henderson has lost his legs.
Then what happens is your right back gets exposed. Your Trent is put in positions where he's a bit like, you know what I mean? So I think it's a lot more than just Van Dijk. And obviously, Robbo's, his legs are gone now as well. He's like 31, 32, or like in his late 20s.
I'm happy you say that, because I look at their 2 midfield signings, and I don't think their midfield signings actually solve any of those problems.
Slobman, I can't wait for him to have a disaster.
Like I look at
the best London name ever.
I look at McAllister and I look at Szoboszlai. They're not like your Hendersons, like your Wijnaldums. They're more creative players like Thiago. Alexis is good on the ball. He's more of your progressive player, ball carrier. But I don't see how that translates into what Klopp has done and what he'll be trying to achieve. But we'll see.
I think even on that is like last season the midfield was all sorts. Thiago was very injury prone. Henderson, I don't know, he has some of the worst technical ability for a top flight player I've seen in like recent history. And then you talk about Bajcetic, that young lad that came in. He was probably one of the best.
He's decent, decent.
So I feel like next season they need to find a kind of balance within that midfield between McAllister, Slobman, and whoever the CDM is going to be, because Fabinho was obviously linked to Saudi, but he as well, he looks like a cone sometimes. People run past him, so It'd be interesting.
He's therefore African, fam. He's therefore Nigerian. That dude is lying about his age or something. The guy aged
who
like
we talking about?
Fabinho, bro. The guy aged like 5 years in like 1 year, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think we can talk about Liverpool last season and not talk about Nunes. I'd love to see what people think of Nunes in the comments, but Darwin Nunes, I've never seen a more his dysfunctionalness is crazy. It's actually true to chat. I've never seen it. Literally looks like he has 2 left feet.
But I won't lie, yeah. I feel like Nunes is a confidence thing as well, bro. Because I look at him and he's raw. A lot. He gets himself into good positions, but sometimes when he's hitting the ball, it looks like this guy's never played football before.
But the thing is, I think that's the basics of being a footballer: hitting the ball, like kicking the ball.
Yeah, but I also feel like I also feel like, you know, it's to do with confidence. Because, bro, man, I look at 2 seasons ago, bro, we were sending for Rashford. I put my hand up. I was sending for Rashford. I didn't think he was any good. Do you know what I'm saying? But that happens when he was playing with Ronaldo. Ronaldo was, you know, looking down on him. It affected his confidence. Ronaldo left. He's feeling like Marcus again. Sir Marcus Rashford, OBE. And he's matching work. Do you know what I'm saying? So with Nunes, I feel like, you know, I always say my first season in the Prem is always hard. Especially when there's a hefty price tag on your head, it's going to be tough. I will judge him on this season. If he don't match work this season, then we can write him off, in my opinion.
Definitely. I think how I look at football, yeah. I feel like football, as you said, is kind of 2 separate things. It's quality and then it's form. But one thing I do kind of do is you separate the 2 of them as well, because you can see people that have good form, but they're not a quality player. And you see people that are a quality player, but don't have good form. And what I see with Nunes is he struck the world alight at Benfica in an easier league where you get more chances. He's in a harder league that you have to score 1 and 2 chances in the Prem. Does he have the quality to continue scoring 1 and 2? I think if Liverpool start finding a balance in their team, he'll be the quickest player to get found out right now. Cody Gakpo can play in the left, can play in the middle. Nunes is killing himself trying to put.
He's just that position, yeah.
And he's killing himself trying to pass the ball in the 10-yard straight line. So there's a lot of things he needs to work on before he's kind of like, to me, the finished article.
And we'll see what, because Trent has been exposed so much last season. We'll see how he features in Liverpool plans. If they keep him as a right back, if they move into midfield, if they invert him, we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think. Sorry for cutting across here. I was just going to say, on the rest of the video, maybe it's probably good to kind of do maybe 3 big winners and 3 big losers out of the rest of the teams, because I don't know, are we going to be able to get through every single team in the Prem?
No, I'm not doing every team.
Fair.
I think we do Chelsea and Tottenham next, and then we do predictions, bro.
Okay, 100%. So, Tottenham, I think that kind of speaks for itself. You know, Conte, he took a lot of the flack, but I think he took a lot of flack.
I completely forgot Conte was there last season, bro. He was violating, bro.
Yeah, I think.
But to be honest, as you said, he took a lot of the flack because, he says. Well, this guy said Nunes needs to show his flair and finishing this season, or else he becomes a rotation player.
Exactly.
I think Liverpool makes top 4 guaranteed.
So who falls out? Newcastle? Is that what you're saying? Because
I think Newcastle. Well, we'll go on to that, but I think Newcastle. I said it before. I think Newcastle fall out.
We still have Chelsea there as well.
Chelsea are not making top 4.
We'll see. But yeah, I think Liverpool have a good chance.
This guy said, I don't know about Nunes having flair now.
Who said he had flair?
Free music rep.
Okay. He does have a bit of flair because
I think what it is rawness. He's raw. He's one of them guys, bro. You don't know what Nunes is gonna do, bro. He's unpredictable, and he's strong, fast. He's raw, bro. I think that's what I would claim.
Yeah, but I do think Nunes does have flair. I genuinely think, because even some of the goals he's scoring back heels, it's when he's doing the cheeky stuff that actually pays off for him. Mm-hmm. Even sometimes, I think he's played against City where he just had a shot where he just took on the chest and just whacked it. I think that's when he gets his joy, when he's kind of a bit crazy, erratic, but has that flair in him as well. But on Spurs, I think Conte took a lot of the flack, but that team just stinks of shit.
Yeah,
if I'm being real.
I made a claim that Tottenham are done being a top 6 team now. They're done.
It might be a stretch, but I think they have to look at the players that they have in the dressing room. Lloris.
Oh shit, I'm capping.
Lloris, Hugo Lloris. If you can hear this, brother, I hope you learn Mandarin. That nigga's going straight to China, bro. That nigga's going straight to China. That keeper could not catch a cold.
Oh
That
shit!
keeper could not catch a cold.
Oh my
Bro.
days! Guy's gonna.
Lloris, Eric Dyer, every right back that Spurs used last year is terrible.
Bro, they had
Emerson,
Jed Spence, bro. He didn't get a
yeah,
minute.
he didn't get a minute. Conte's weird like that though, but yeah, I think it's part Conte and then part a lot of the players, apart from like the likes of Harry Kane. Son had a stink over season. No one really wants to talk about it. You know, I think they'll be back this season. I see the clips of their preseason game. Basuma looked like a man on fire. Talking about Dombele coming off a great season at Napoli. They got Udogu from Udinese, really good fullback, left back. Obviously, Kane looks like he's kind of in the.
I'm looking at Madison behind the front three.
Oh my God! You said Madison.
Maybe I'm lying about them not making top six because Madison with Son, Kane, and Kulusevski in front of him, he's gonna get a few assists.
Yeah, Madison is the type of player that I think if you look at Spurs, every top six team bar Spurs use a flat four. You know, you're playing with an extra defender. I hate when people say a back five is a back three because you're playing with an extra defender. That gives your attackers less space or less people to pass the ball to. So if they with Ante Postologu, if they play back a flat back four, I don't know who on earth they're going to use in that back four because Romero just wants to kick people and every other centre back they have is not good enough. It'll be interesting. I think Spurs might have a claim to stake in the top six, but they need to kind of hit the ground running. Yeah, Kane needs to go to United. I don't know what he's doing. At Spurs. I feel like if he wants to go to a Premier League team and keep that Alan Shearer record, take him, go to United. Mm-hmm. You'd guarantee the trophy. England captain, you're still in England.
Whoa.
If Harry Kane goes to United and he's on a 5-year contract, he's winning at least 3 trophies. I could make a bet with anybody in this chat. 3. I have never won 3.
Bro, look at this Harry Kane. Face. He's not joking, fam.
I'm not joking. Harry Kane is a killer.
No, he's a killer, but bro, I don't know if he has. I don't know if he has that. He's a killer on the pitch, but mentality-wise, maybe if he goes to United, plays around winners, we could change. But we'll see. That's enough Tottenham talk. Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea, come on now. Chelsea.
Is there any Chelsea fans?
I feel like we allowed Chelsea last season, bro. Yeah, 3 Carabao Cups for sure. That's what you guys will win.
What did you win?
That's what you guys will win with Kane, man.
Sniffing City's ass. That's what he's won last year.
You guys will win. But with Chelsea, bro, they had a historic stinker of a season, bro. If Arsenal or United had that type of season, bro, they would be on to us.
What I realize now is no one respects Chelsea fans. Like do you know that spoiled brother, that brat that gets all the good things,
Facts. Facts.
Yeah,
facts.
You don't really rate him like that, bro. Chelsea, I'm not really hearing them. But this season, we'll see what they're saying. I've seen Nicolas Martinez. That boy looks like he has something about him. Nicolas Jackson, sorry, thank you for correcting me. Nicolas Jackson, I think he has something about him. And I really rate Pochettino. I feel like, you look at Spurs, he brought in Dele Alli, he brought in Eric Dyer, he brought in a young British core. I feel like Pochettino's an exciting manager, but he needs time, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Okay.
Chelsea, anybody in the comments have anything to say about Chelsea FC?
I just posted the link to the fantasy football.
Everybody join.
So if anybody is interested in the £200 cash prize that we have, I just posted it in the chat. You do have to be subbed and following the socials just as an FYI. Might as well just do a quick little predictions for next season. Obviously, I feel like we do a prediction now, and then maybe we do a quick revised one once the season has started, and maybe another one once the window has closed. Because I feel like based on transfer activity, some stuff is going to change. I mean,
change. Somebody clip that. Get this pop off my screen. No, definitely. I hear it. I think that obviously, you can only assess a team as good as transfers they have, or as good as a preseason they have. But it'd be interesting to see what kind of categories you want to rank these in. Is it top 4, bottom 3?
I think right now we do top 6 and bottom 3.
In order, no orders.
Yeah, I'm gonna do mine in order. So firstly, I think Arsenal will win the league. I think it's gonna be City second. I think
Right, Arsenal what?
You guys clip it, man. Arsenal will win the league. Arsenal win the league. Hey, you man, sub to LU Dons as well. That's the team I play for. Got the chairman in here. He's supporting as well. We're gonna
big up LU Dons.
Gonna be running up some content. You guys are gonna see me mashing work in midfield there as well. So make sure you follow that as well.
Gaffer, do you need any wingers?
Arsenal will win the league.
Yeah. Okay.
Arsenal will. Obviously, I'm being a bit optimistic, but I said it last season. I was joking a bit last season, but I feel like Arsenal have enough to get over the line now. With City also losing a couple of players, I feel like it's gonna hurt them. Click me, put me on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with them losing a bit of players, they're gonna be up against the cosh. Maybe, as I said, I might revise it if I see they bring in some quality players that make me change my mind. But as of now, I'm going with Arsenal. You give me you drop me your predictions, Pam, and then I'll speculate on them after. I'll go City second. I'll go Liverpool third. United fourth. I'll go Chelsea fifth. Newcastle sixth, and that's it.
Time for somebody that actually has the brain to give those predictions. Because what on earth? So we said. Let me tell you.
You know what? Yeah, write it down. And to be honest, it's clipped. It's on the internet,
exactly.
bro. It's on the internet, bro.
Exactly. We are back ends to this, don't we? We can go back and find this.
It's on the internet, bro.
So what was I gonna say? Yeah, good luck with that. Because what happens now is if you don't win the league, we'll be on Arsenal fans. But anyway, on my top kind of six in the Prem, I feel like from what I've seen with United in the preseason and what we've seen about the transfers we've had and what I've seen about our manager, very optimistic. But I say am I as optimistic as Sadiq to say that my team will win the league? Don't think we're quite there yet. I think City, I'll be very surprised if they don't go and win the league. They have Haaland. They have every reason to win the league. They have Haaland. They have KDB. They have a back four that can probably walk into any top six's defense. So I'm going to give my top spot to City. Second, I think will be United. I think United will finish second. I feel like we're having good quality reinforcements into our team. We're addressing areas we needed to address. We got rid of De Gea. How on earth Ten Hag got 75 points with David De Gea as a keeper is beyond me. If we get Onana, a keeper that can actually control and start our phases of attack, I think we'll definitely compete then. So I'm going to go United second. Third, I'm going to go with... Let me think about third. Third, I'm going to go with a cheeky Liverpool revival. Liverpool third, and then Arsenal fourth. Or those two can interchange. I'm quite happy with them two interchanging. Fifth, I'm going to give it to Newcastle. And sixth, I'm going to give it to Chelsea.
Bro, I was listening to what you said, yeah. I'm not going to lie. To be honest, I hear what you're saying about City. To be honest, I could put City first. As I said, I am kind of taking the piss a bit because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I like to speak stuff into existence. That being said, I do feel I don't think United are finishing second. I don't think United are finishing above Arsenal, but that could also be because of my bias and I have this guy in a United jersey in front of me. But personally, I don't think you don't have the 9 to finish top 2. You don't have the squad depth to play Champions League and also mount a challenge to finish top 2. Me personally,
I genuinely think we have better depth than you guys.
Better depth than Arsenal.
Yeah.
In what position?
In a whole squad, a whole squad. If we add another striker, bear in mind we still have.
Okay. Let's go right wing. Right wing. You think you have better depth in right wing than Arsenal?
I said the whole team as a whole.
Goalkeeper. You think you have better depth than Arsenal?
The whole squad. I think we have better.
That's a crazy claim. Anyway, guys, make sure you like, subscribe. We've been on for about an hour plus.
My bad.
No, you.
Good.
This guy's playing around with the tools. Yeah. We might as well call it here. We'll be back again on Tuesday. I mean, not Tuesday, Thursday.
Thursday.
We'll keep you guys updated with what time it's gonna be. It'll probably be a bit earlier. But we keep you guys updated. Thanks for everybody who tuned in.
Legends.
Thanks for everybody commenting and keeping interacting with us. It helps a lot. Helps the show run a lot smoother. You guys are giving us talking topics. Thank you for everyone who tuned in, everyone who subscribed, everyone who's liked. If you haven't liked, make sure you like and subscribe again. But yeah, that's it. We're gonna peace out until Thursday, guys. Cheers.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, everybody.
Peace. BFB to the world and back.
Everybody that tapped in your legend. Let me just have a quick. Everybody that tapped in legends. Everybody that commented legends. Everybody that joined legends. Everybody that watched legends. POP, hold it down.
Yeah.
Till next time, guys.
Yeah.